Nutmeg on the road, boys and girls, and we got a flight food forthcoming from Stay Wild Indeed, Wild Leap Brewing Company in Atlanta, the ATL Hot Atlanta, whatever nickname you prefer. I know the music is bumping, but we're gonna try to talk over and do a review anyway. So for this flight, I had to get this one to start it off because, as you know, Palmetto from the Carolinas, just and only less than an hour away from Asheville, so I see something that was brewed for the Western North Carolina Relief. I gotta support that beer. It is a wheat Pilsner, which are two things that I don't necessarily think would particularly go together, but hey, we'll try it, right? I'm all about the adventure. I'm all about trying something different. It's called Pouring for Neighbors. It is a wheat Pilsner, brewed for Western North Carolina Relief, and full of notes of peach, lemon zest, and passion fruit. So, I'll give you a little bit of a glory shot. Yeah, pretty clear. You may be able to see me through it. I would say, especially based off of their description, what I would get the most is the zest. It's quite the lemon. It's quite zesty. It does have a little bit of a tart note to it, so I'm definitely thinking the passion fruit. Maybe a little bit of peach. Yeah, there's a lot of fruit notes in this, which don't necessarily compute in my head as a wheat or a Pilsner, but anyway, it smells delightful nonetheless. Cheers. Definitely tastes like a Pilsner. Oh yes. Clean, a little bit of a grassy note. So all those fruity flavors are on the aroma. Doesn't so much transfer over the flavor, but to start this flight off, I needed a nice palate cleanse. So I'm very, very happy, and I'll save some for when we get through of it, the palate cleanse, after everything's done. All right, the next one, Shutdown. Shutdown is, you know this channel, hashtag Westie is Bestie. It is a West Coast Extra Pale Ale. Hop notes of grapefruit and resin and moderate bitterness. So an extra pale ale. I'm trying to think what style I normally see extra applied to. It's not a West Coast IPA, but I know I've seen like extra pale ale in some context before. And nobody likes West Coast IPA. Would be very, very proud of that. You can definitely see me through that, I think, probably. Super clear. There's a resinous piney note to it, but it's quite subtle. There's a little bit of a sweet orange note in there too. Yeah, definitely a sweet orange note. A little bit noticeable, a little more noticeable than the resin and the pininess, but stacks up. I'm excited. Cheers. Let's try it. And I will say they differentiate on the menu which ones were brewed here at Wild Leaf Atlanta. So, Wild Leaf, I originally had the LaGrange. So everything I picked for this flight is brewed right here in this tap room. There is a very strong, dry, piney note. There's a very, 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 very light aftertaste. So it's there, it pops, and it doesn't hang around. It's clean, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, it's gone. That is very, very tasty. Yes, indeed. All right, we'll walk on the sour side. For Together We Rise. This is a hibiscus fruited blonde. I don't go with blondes, but I do like when they fruit a beer, and I do like, I tend to like hibiscus. I think it winds up coming off as like an interesting lavender type of sensation, that kind of note. So hibiscus, blood orange, tangerine, and cherry with a sweet fruit aroma, berry, and citrus flavor. Dry finish. All right, dry is good. Dry is good. All right, I'll give you a glory shot. It's kind of got a little pinkish grapefruit, ruby red type of color. It is fairly sweet. It does have a tart berry sensation. Yeah, I'd say the berry probably picks up the most. Not getting too much of a floral note, but maybe that's on the flavor, so let's find out. Cheers. It does have a drying finish, actually. And there is something floral to that, like, you know, kind of that lavender effect that you get from hibiscus and that sort of thing. Comes in very bright and sharp, and then kind of softens and mellows out. So I will say the aroma is a lot more that fruited side, and then the flavor, I guess, kind of walks back on the blonde because there's a lot more floral and stuff like that. All right, and what's nice is there's no kind of tart mouthfeel on that, which I don't mind, but going into the next beer probably won't play in the sandbox well. So the last one is Thief in the Dark. It is a Schwarz beer. Black lagers, love black lagers, love dark lagers. Collab with Cherry Street Brewing. I have been to Cherry Street, actually. Smooth, light bodied roasted chocolate with a crisp finish. Very nice. 4.3. I probably should have told you the alcohol percentage, but I'm a professional. Oh well. That's exactly what I get. Roasty and chocolate. Both notes there. No more wasting time. Cheers, because you're not going to see me do that anyway. There is kind of that kind of burnt malty mouthfeel flavor to it. You know what? The overall theme, other than this one really, the overall theme, a lot of dry. Everything has a dry finish. And I don't mind the dry finish in my beers. But for the most part, every one of these has a dry finish. This is light, this is crushable. It's roasty, but it's not too roasty. Like you get that kind of like burnt malty flavor, but it's not like overpowering by any stretch of imagination. And there's like a little bit of a kind of mixture of dark chocolate and milk chocolate going on there. All right, I gotta soak this up. All right, as followers of the brand know, this is also Nutmeg Eats on Facebook. So, gotta get some food, right? So we got a smash burger from, I figured it was a kitchen on site, but I looked over my shoulder when I sat down and there's a food truck out there called Midnight Burgers. There we go, Midnight Burgers. And it is a single smash. No details on the menu about the burgers individually, but I can tell you the Midnight Burger is certified Angus beef or house-made ground turkey. I got beef, seasoned, flavorful, and crispy patties, American cheese, and toasted Martin's potato roll. Ooh, a potato roll. I like. All right, let's unfold this. Oh yeah. It is most definitely a smashed patty on a potato roll. Look at that cheese dripping off. Give it its glory shot. There's some things you can add in this. The pickle, the midnight sauce comes standard. You can do some add-ons too. I add onion because no onions. Unless because you're allergic. To me, the onions always makes a burger pop. So that's very, very good. The potato roll works very well with them. Now the other thing the Midnight Burger truck offers are fries and different levels. Classic, lunar, nocturnal, or you can build your own. I did the lunar. It's like their big, hunky, chunky steak fries. There's steam coming off of that. There's cheese. Looks like there's onions all over it. The American cheese grilled onions and the midnight sauce. Give it its full-on glory shot. French fries are finger food, but not when they're covered in all this good stuff. Ooh, it's a crinkle cut fry. Alright, I'm gonna grab another one. It's got all the goodies. Alright, there's a little bit of a spice to the sauce. A little bit of a building heat. Nice kick in the unmentionables. Other than that, nice and creamy. The onions. Add a little bit of a nice texture to it. Very, very tasty. And then we'll soak up this tasty flight here from Wild Leaf, Atlanta. There'll be several more videos in my little 2-day trek down to the ATL. Later.